Johnny's having the time of his life. The fans have continued to file in, and the energy is in the air as live from Carnesecca Arena in the heart of Queens, New York, SJU TV brings you the official live broadcast of Red Storm tip-off for the 2019-2020 season. And with that, we say good evening and welcome courtside. Thanks for joining us live on YouTube TV. Alongside former St. John's great Sky Lindsay, I'm Onkwa Sonye. Sky, you might as well say Happy New Year where college basketball is concerned. And I know you, of all people, remember what that's like.
I remember too well, about 10 years ago when I was in the women's basketball team, when St. John's threw their very first tip-off, and I'll tell you what, it does bring a lot of energy to the campus and really makes the players excited for the start of a brand new season. And it's become even bigger and better each year, and we are in for an exciting, festive Red Storm treat tonight.
And because you were part of the first class that really experienced the big production that this has become, as a player, how did that make you feel, especially considering you, a native New Yorker, were going to represent pretty much your borough playing here and taking your team to a pair of NCAA tournaments?
It makes you proud, for starters, just to see how much support you have on campus, the amount of fans, seeing your students, your classmates here in the arena to watch and support you, and it just makes you understand and excited to know that you have a great support system behind you. And talk about the jitters, knowing that this is the start. After tip-off, it's go time. It's now the season begins, and it's time to play some basketball.
So, with the rest of today, we'll get into all of the facets between the men's basketball scrimmage. You'll hear from some of the men's players. You'll hear from Coach Tartamella and a few of the seniors, and you also hear from Coach Anderson as well. But what can fans expect tonight, since they're not in the arena, so there's some stuff we can't tell you about, but in terms of what we're bringing tonight, what can fans expect to see?
Well, we got the chance to talk to some of the players, and they said that we are in for a treat. We're going to get the chance to meet a lot of the players. We interviewed some of them, and also we get to see them. We see a lot of their basketball on the court, but now we get to watch them dance. Can they sing? We see their other talents outside of just basketball, which is fun to see for the student athletes.
So you need to get comfortable, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll be back with more after this.
St. John's University is New York, through and through. While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated, our students graduate career-ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
You're not gonna want to miss this.
New York, New York. It's easy to see why they call it the Mecca. You can feel the energy. You see the spirit of the sport reflects their own grind, flavor, hustle. It reflects their tenacity and will to win. Their will to battle for that extra step, that extra breath. They give their all until they have nothing left. With the greatest city in the world rooting you on, the support has no ending. Because St. John's is all about winning.
St. John's University is New York, through and through. While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated, our students graduate career-ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
not going to want to miss this.
Broadcast Sky Lindsay, thanks for joining us streaming live on YouTube. And you should be seeing our cheer team get just about ready to do their first performance of the year. But Sky, we talked about it a little bit earlier, just the jitters and the excitement, and that's not just for the players. The dance team is going to make an appearance as we see the cheerleaders get set up. It really extends to everybody at this point.
You're absolutely right. Everyone right now is probably nervous, but also excited. The cheerleaders have the opportunity to show off their talent, and I can imagine these young ladies have been practicing all month for tonight.
Taking a look at what's going to be ahead, you'll be hearing from Mustafa Heron and LJ Figueroa on the men's side alongside head coach Mike Anderson in his first year. And it looks like before we go into the women's team and who you'll be hearing from, looks like the cheerleaders are about to get started.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your St. John's University cheer team. Another one. We the best music. DJ Khaled.
I don't know if you could take it. No, you wanna see me naked. I wanna be a baby. Spinning in his red just like he came from Maytag. Like a wristed on the brown. Trying to get like this, I can't be around. I'm too little to dim down the night. Cause I can make the things that I'm gon' do.
One of their best men's basketball team coming off one of their best seasons, returning to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2015. They had 10 quad 1 and 2 wins, and even though they went under 500 in the Big East, they did just enough to squeak into the first four of their matchup in Dayton, but a fantastic non-conference record as well at 12-1. But the team's gonna look a lot different from last year. Gone our Defensive Player of the Year, Justin Simon, and 5th all-time leading scorer, Shamori Pons. But coming in between 2 local freshmen and JUCO transfers that should contribute nearly immediately in the person of Ian Stair, who will be available back in January. It's going to be a pretty big season for the Red Storm. And Sky, for you, you've already been to the tournament twice in your career, and you had to take the pressure of going from last year to going to the next and trying to go back to the tournament. What was your mentality like, just trying to make sure you repeat?
You know what, Unqua, you always want to try your best to do better than the year before. And so every year going into the next season, our goal was to always get further than we did the season before. And so making the NCAA tournament, both my junior and senior year, was always a goal of ours. And we made sure once we finally got in and got our feet wet and felt how it is to be in the big dance, and we saw how much fun it was, we wanted to stay in the NCAA tournament. We made sure we got in it the next year. But St. John's men's basketball, they have a lot to prove without Shamari Pons, who's now in the NBA, right?
He is in the NBA on a two-way contract with the Houston Rockets. And another new face for the Red Storm will be the man on the sideline, head coach Mike Anderson, in his first season for the St. John's Red Storm. And he has a wealth of a resume ahead of him. You can look back to his playing days and then even going to work underneath his mentor, Nolan Richardson, as you see him getting used to the friendly confines of Carnesecca Arena. And even looking more into his record, a lot of people question the hire, saying that he wasn't a local guy, it was going to have trouble attracting New York recruits. So fittingly, he plucked two kids right out of Brooklyn to play for the men's team this season. But the most interesting thing I think about his resume, Sky, in his 15-plus years of head coaching experience, he has never had a losing season.
And this is the type of coach St. John's men's basketball wanted to lead their squad, and it's always a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting as well to see how his group of guys get used to his style of play and how they can mesh and how they can get the team to play the way he needs them to play in order to be successful and really buy into his system.
Now, we could tell you all about Coach Anderson, but you know what? We'll let him tell it himself.
Well, when you talk about exciting, it's defensive pressure, attacking you offensively, defensively, getting a lot of players involved, and more importantly, getting the fans involved. I think for LJ and Mustafa coming back, I think it's big from the standpoint of they're in leadership role, and as you come back in the leadership role, it's your job to go out and show guys how to do it. And I think thus far, their work ethic, showing guys how hard it is that you got to work, and guys are following suit. So with those guys, I think they have chances to be all conference type players, and a lot has to do, how far our team goes. A lot depends on those guys. Well, we see the young freshman Julian Champagne, who's coming on for us. I think Nick Rutherford, we know he's a guy that's got to give us some quality minutes. He's a graduate student. I think Josh energy, the style of play will really benefit him as long as he plays with that edge. And then you go on Marcellus. I mean, you're going to have guys going to have opportunity to define roles, and that's what I'm looking for, guys that will step in and really step it up. Rasheem. I think Rasheem is going to be an excellent basketball player forward. So, again, a lot of pieces, a lot of questions. Now we're going to find some answers. Hope you enjoy the tip-off and look forward to seeing you throughout the season.
Men's basketball coach Mike Anderson. And now on the women's side, well, unfortunately for the women's basketball team last year, the string of 11 straight postseasons has been broken. First time since 2008 for a team that finished just under 500, but managed to beat Seton Hall for the first time in 3 tries last season at its most important point to at least advance to the Big East quarterfinals in the conference tournament. but a lot of great talent also returning for the Red Storm, Sky. And one of them, you're really impressed with Tiana England, who was an honorable mention last year.
Tiana England had an amazing season last year, really led the team as their point guard, but they have some great additions. They have Allison Alston now, who had to sit out last year. Another speedy point guard, a senior, has experience coming from Ole Miss. Going to be a nice 1-2 punch with England, and of course, we can't forget our now sophomore sensation, Padasha Happy. Also another exciting guard who's all met third team and led them in scoring last year, 11.6 points.
And then looking at some of the freshmen coming in, a big deal has been made of the Nolan twins coming in. But the recruiting class that's come in, it's not going to be a rebuilding season for Coach Tartamella. He wants to reload.
That's right, a lot of new faces on this group, but hey, they're ranked number 2 in preseason Big East polls, and so that just shows the amount of talent they have on this group, although they may be young, and a lot of new faces on the roster.
Coach Tartamella sat down with Sky earlier today. Here's what he had to say.
Coach is returning this year, but a lot of new faces on the roster. What can the St. John's fans and the community and the country expect to see from St. John's women's basketball this season?
Well, I think a little bit of the same. Obviously, we're going to start on the defensive end and be able to build from there on out. I think we've got a lot more speed this year with some of the players that we've added, obviously some of the returners. So Alyssa Alston, who sat out, brings us some more depth at the guard position. Obviously, having Tiana, Q, and Alicia back help us. But we've got 7 new faces on the roster, so we've had a lot of work in practice, and we're still probably a work in progress as well in making sure we're defining our fundamentals defensively and who we're going to be through the year. But no, it's an exciting team. I think people will really enjoy watching us play as far as the pace. I think we'll be able to play a little faster than we have in the past, and we've added some depth that we didn't have last year.
Number 2 in the Big East preseason polls. What does that do for your team's confidence and morale coming into this new season?
Oh, it's always great to be, toward the top. You don't want to be at the bottom. So I think, obviously, the preseason poll is great, and we've been in that position before, and we want to make sure that we finish there and be able to win and win a championship. So we still have a lot of things we want to accomplish. Trying to get better every day is still the goal, regardless of where we're picked. And so we've got to continue to get better. I think every day we're doing that. Every day they're working hard. We're getting to know each other as a team and acclimating the new players. And so yeah, certainly I'm sure it's a confidence builder, but we know we've got a lot of work to do before we can feel that we're in a great position to cut the net.
It's been about 10 years now for St. John's, keeping the tradition going with the Red Storm tip-off. What does this mean to your team and your staff, just having the fans and the community come out to support and celebrate the start of a new season every year?
Yeah, I've always said it's probably one of the best things we do. The excitement that it brings for both our men's and women's teams, their opportunity to be recognized, as a group and individually, it's been a great kind of jumping off point for the year. So it really signifies that we're close. I mean, that's been the biggest thing. We know we're close when tip-off is around the corner, and obviously it's here tonight. So they have a lot of fun with it. It's their night. And again, it's great for them to have recognition in front of the student body, in front of the fans, in front of alumni. And so it's been a great event. I think it'll be great tonight. I saw the lines outside. I mean, they've been going still since 8 a.m. So I'm expecting it to be sold out, which is great. And a great opportunity for a little sneak peek of who we'll be.
Good luck this year, Coach. Go Red Storm.
Still more to come. Stick with us right here on YouTube after this.
St. John's University is New York, through and through. While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated, our students graduate career-ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John.
not going to want to miss this.
New York, New York. It's easy to see why they call it the Mecca. You can feel the energy. You see the spirit of the sport reflects their own grind, flavor, hustle. It reflects their tenacity and will to win. Their will to battle for that extra step, that extra breath. They give their all until they have nothing left. With the greatest city in the world rooting you on, the support has no ending. Because St. John's is all about winning.
Well, here we are. We are just about ready to introduce both the men's and the women's squad. But Sky had a moment to sit down with Alicia Cavey and Alyssa Alston, and here's what they had to say.
Roster this year, started all 31 games last season, pretty much inherited the leadership position this year. What does that mean for you to be the team leader?
It means a lot to me, you know. I've been through all the stages here. I've been here for 4 years. I just got to share my knowledge with my younger teammates and make sure they're on the right track.
As you said, been here for 4 years. You've experienced 3 tip-offs. Tonight will be your last and final. Are you excited? How do you feel about everyone coming out tonight to come and support and really get you excited for the season to start?
It's exciting, you know. It's a great event that they always put on for the basketball team for us to showcase our talents. You know, some of us dance, some of us sing, you know. And I'm really excited. It's my last one, so everybody better show love.
So we know you're talented on the court. Anything special we're going to see tonight? Coming out, dancing, singing, anything? What can the fans look forward to?
Just know I'm going to put on a good performance. Y'all, it's a secret. I can't really tell everybody.
All right, secrets are exciting. We look forward to watching it. Thank you. Alyssa, you set out last year. You transferred in. So you had an entire year to really practice with the team, as well as be on the bench, go to the games. How has last year prepared you, having that extra year to sit out, prepared you to be so successful this season?
Becoming more of a student of the game. Sitting out, you realize and you see a lot of things that could be adjusted. You see what coach wants, what he needs. So just being able to sit and realize and have some type of knowledge of what's going on, the best thing here.
So you understand Coach Tartamella's style of play a lot better for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
So what can the fans, what can the country expect to see from St. John's women's basketball this season?
The fans definitely could expect fast pace, a lot of chemistry, and a lot of energy and enthusiasm.
Speaking of enthusiasm, the rumor is they called you Little Drip last year, but you've upgraded to Big Drip. Can you explain the transition and where the nickname even came from?
All right, so Little Drip came from just the way I dress. Everybody liked the way I put my clothes together. And then I bought a chain, and then now it's just the drip. So it's Big Drip. I leveled up. Went from the drip, from the swag up standpoint, then the jewels. I added the jewels in there. Then, Big Drip had to just come along with that.
So you got the swag, you got the jewelry. Now they said you also got a little gift for Gab, and you're able to freestyle. So do you have anything for us right now on the spot?
Off the top, I got you right here. Ready? It's tip off. We finna get lit. St. John's. Y'all already know we it. And if you don't know, now you know. New York's team. Don't let it snow. Yeah, that's tough. Yo, that's tough.
That was good. Thank you. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you tonight.
It's lit.
The introduction to our men's and women's teams just moments away. We'll be back with more after this.
St. John's University is New York, through and through. While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated, our students graduate career-ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
You're not going to want to miss this.
New York, New York. It's easy to see why they call it the Mecca. You can feel the energy. You see the spirit of the sport reflects their own grind, flavor, hustle. It reflects their tenacity and will to win. They will to battle for that extra step, that extra breath. They give their all until they have nothing left. With the greatest city in the world rooting you on, the support has no ending. Because St. John's is all about winning.
You're not going to want to miss this.
New York, York, New York. It's easy to see why they call it the Mecca. You can feel the energy. You see the spirit of the sport reflects their own grind, flavor, hustle. It reflects their tenacity and will to win. They will to battle for that extra step, that extra breath. They give their all until they have nothing left. With the greatest city in the world rooting you on, the support has no ending. Because St. John's is all about winning.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to introduce your 2019-2020 St. John's men's and women's basketball teams. Leading off the festivities for the men's team is a player in his first year with the Johnnies. This graduate student from Long Island has taken his talents from the lacrosse field to the hardwood, switching to basketball after a 4-year lacrosse career at Maryland that featured a national championship in 2017. From Mineola, New York, number 12, Thomas O'Connell.
Shorty like the way that I ball out. I be getting money, time fall out. You talking cash, though I go all out. Shorty love the way that I floss out. Free greasy though, let them know my dogs out. Mama said no, he catching some dog. That's what got my daddy locked up in the dog pound. Free fan on up, let them know my dogs out. We gon' pull up in that one, every cops on them. With the instances, we gon' put some shots on them.
First up for the women's team, this 6-foot freshman guard was a 4-star recruit coming out of high school. The All-USA New Jersey first-team honoree averaged a team best 16.8 points to go along with 7.5 rebounds per game during her senior year of high school. From Manchester, New Jersey, number 2, Leilani Correa.
No, can't touch this, ayy, I'm rich, nobody think, ayy, walk with a limp, I'm some pimp, ayy, he say you all about money, yeah, I want that cash, I'm in my bag, I'm in your, I'm in that new, you on that last year, that new pimp, you on simp, ayy, he say you all about money, yeah, I want that cash, you know how they do that me?
Our next men's basketball player is gearing up for his final collegiate season. A local product from right down the road at Archbishop Malloy High School, he has provided solid contributions off the bench during his career at St. John's and provides key veteran leadership on a young St. John's squad. From Rockville Center, New York, number 23, Justin Cole. Next up for the women's team is a freshman who hails from Bjärred, Sweden. This 6'2" forward played for the Swedish national team and was part of 3 European championships. a two-time national champion, Elite Eight MVP from Björn, Sweden, number 11, Cecilia Holmberg. A freshman from right here in New York City, this two-time All-League selection at Brooklyn's Bishop Laughlin High School is a St. John's prodigy, as his father won a national championship with the men's soccer team in 1996. From Brooklyn, New York, number 2, Julian Champetti. Our next player is a 4-star recruit from Columbia, South Carolina, where she was a sharpshooter at Westwood High. The 5'7" guard averaged 17 points per game to earn USA Today first team selection and runner-up for Gatorade Player of the Year. From Columbia, South Carolina, number 1, Unique Drake.
Packing the mail, it's gone. She like I smell cologne. Yeah, I just signed a deal, I'm on. Yeah. I go where I want, good. Play if you want, do. I'm a young CEO, sure. Yeah. The first plan my body. I just take my balance, I probably pull up to your hood and come buy me a new, no cap. You know that Joe told you that crazy, don't think she lied.
The first freshman to commit to the Mike Anderson era at St. John's, this hard-nosed point guard with lightning-quick handles is sure to become a fan favorite. A 3-star recruit from Bowie, Maryland, who played at national powerhouse Huntington Prep. Number 11, John McGriff.
I'm making calls. Yeah, you can take the score. We up on the board. And we go to the lavish. If I win it, I'ma have it. I'm making calls. I'm making calls. Yeah, you can.
Next up for the women's basketball team, a dynamic duo from Valparaiso, Indiana. These two ladies had a record-breaking high school career, sitting first and second on Marquette High's all-time scoring and rebounding lists. For their efforts, this talented pair earned 2-time Chicago Post-Tribune Co-Player of the Year honors. A set of twins from Valparaiso, Indiana, number 14 and number 41, Sophie and Emma Nolan. These sophomores from the Tar Heel State are eager to make their St. John's debut after transferring into the university last season. The first was the Southland Conference Player of the Year as a freshman at Houston Baptist 2 years ago. The second is a bruising 6'9" forward who began his collegiate career at NC State. Both are expected to make an immediate impact for the Johnnies. Number 5, David Caraher, and number 33, Ian Steer. A transfer from Clemson, this sophomore saw significant playing time for the Tigers in her rookie season. The 5'5" guard suited up in all 33 games for the Clemson Tigers. In the team's victory over Boston College, she drained a season-high 12 points. From Westland, Michigan, number 23, Camry Clegg.
Hey yo, regardless of rain or snow, sleet or hail, I kick street tails, choke niggas like I'm free well, rolling state, holding your face in the palm of my hand, blow you away like it's part of the plan. I gotta call it like I see it, talking like I be it, walking my walk, thumbed out, beating, cause I'm soon to be up, give me room.
A 6'6" forward from right here in New York. He made the most of limited minutes last year as a freshman. After scoring in spurts, he's ready to make steady contributions during his sophomore season. From Stony Point, New York, number 10, Marcellus Earlington.
I'm going baby on baby. He think he a gangster, he probably the slang of 380. Probably told you I'm gonna come get you a snail. I'm pretty like a name. Pull up rockin' out white like a god. Put him up like a cat if he try me. Got him watching my life inside. Just FaceTime my daughter, she laughing and smiling. Still got you on my face in November. A few open cases, they pending. Look around, think I'm trying to catch money. Pull up with a Drake and a Splendor. Give a fuck how you think, how you feeling. Show you how to make a few million. So full of myself, I'm cocky. Ask the bitch, she copy, she copy. I was straight through the dope. Cause ain't really poppin', we poppin'. Yeah, a billion, we're back in that business.
This sophomore saw minutes in all 31 games for the Red Storm last season, establishing a reputation as one of the team's top sharpshooters. The local product finished in double figures 8 times during the season, recording a pair of double-double performances. For her efforts, she landed a spot on the All-Big East freshman team. From Long Beach, New York, number 30, Kadeja Bailey. A bouncy 6'9" forward, his athleticism and length are two of the key reasons why St. John's fans are looking forward to his sophomore season. In his final game at Carnesecca Arena last year, he scored a season-high 8 points in just 16 minutes. From Troy, Alabama, number 1, Josh Roberts. Next up, a transfer from LSU. This 6'4" forward will make her debut in December for the Red Storm. The former McDonald's All-American entered her rookie campaign with the Tigers, ranked 19th overall in her class and 5th nationally at her position. From Elizabeth, New Jersey, number 4, Raven Farley.
Hold up, bring the beat back. Stop, I ain't ready yet. Wait, let me fix my hair. Yes. I think I'm ready.
This sophomore guard is looking to break through during his second season in Queens. He led all freshmen with 28 appearances a season ago, making key contributions for a St. John's team that won 21 games. From Lafayette, Louisiana, number 4, Greg Williams Jr. Next up for the St. John's women's basketball squad, a preseason All-Big East team selection. This 5'7" standout led the team in scoring last year. A high-flying electric guard started in 30 of the Johnnies' 31 games, recording double figures on 18 different occasions. A year ago, this junior guard set single-game career highs in nearly every statistical category for herself, including a 24-point performance against Butler. From Staten Island, New York, number 21, Kwadasha Hoppy. A junior college standout at Western Oklahoma State last season, this big man is looking to make waves for the Johnnies in his return to Division I hoops. One of the first players to commit to head coach Mike Anderson, he was double-double machine last season and will look to bring that same energy to Queens. From Hardin, Louisiana, number 15, Damian Sears. Next up, the Johnnies' second All-Big East team selection and one of the top facilitators in the country. This guard did it all for the Johnnies last season. She led the league in assists while ranking inside the top 20 in the nation. The 5'7" point guard paced the team in scoring during Big East play, reaching double figures on 16 occasions, including a 20-point performance to upset number 7 Marquette right here in Carnesecca Arena. From New Haven, Connecticut, number 3, Tiana England. A battle-tested veteran, this fifth-year guard will look to end his collegiate career on a high note in Queens. He's suited up in nearly 100 games between FAU and Monmouth, helping the Hawks reach the championship game of the MAC tournament a season ago. He's ranked among the team leaders in steals and assists throughout his career. From Indianapolis, Indiana, number 24, Nick Rutherford. Our next women's basketball player will don red and white for the first time this season after sitting out last year as a transfer. The 5'8" guard is ready to make an immediate impact this year as a senior. This player is coming off her junior campaign at Ole Miss, where she averaged 14 points per game and paced the Rebels with 4.5 assists per contest. From New Haven, Connecticut, number 25, Elisa Big Drip Alston.
Big drip, I'm gonna level the lit. Hey, she wanna on the lit. Hey, suck it lit with. Don't suck it lit with. I been spit. I know who you been with. Hey, we loving the style, we loving the style. Send me that and run it down. Send me that and run it down. Bow, bow, bow. Bow, 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 bow. Just won't give it time. Straight forward on.
From right next door in Brooklyn, this prolific scoring guard will look to continue his successful collegiate career in Queens. In 2 seasons at St. Francis College, he scored nearly 1,000 points and helped the Terriers make a stunning turnaround during his sophomore year. A high school teammate of Shamori Pons at Thomas Jefferson, he's ready to get back on the court after sitting out last season at Cleveland State. From Brooklyn, New York, number 3, Rasheem Dunn.
I got my money running. I got leg on my freaks. I'ma just send my little team. Yeah, they know that. She let me for free. She turned on the fees. On top of the cover. They not gonna change the seats. Rick off the cord. Rick off the cord and keys. Yeah. I keep the game with me. Cause they gon' bang for me.
Entering her final campaign with the Red Storm, this senior can light it up from behind the arc. The 5'6" guard has been an effective leader both on and off the court for the Johnnies. Over her 3 seasons with the Red Storm, she has brought an immense amount of energy to the program. From Staten Island, New York, number 5, Shamakia Duncan.
She like the way that I move. She like the way that I rock. She like the way that I move. She let it cry for it. She let it cry for it. And she throw it back for it. Yeah, she throw it back for it. Like a man, like a man. Cause she be on the yo. She like the way I like a man. Really sweet, really clean. Christian Dior, Dior.
An electric talent, this 6'6" wing quickly became a fan favorite last year during his debut season in Queens. He led all Big East newcomers in scoring, averaging 14.4 points per game and leading the team in rebounding with 6.4 boards per contest. He tallied a team-high 6 double-doubles, none more memorable than his 22-point, 12-rebound outing in the Red Storm's win over defending national champion Villanova at Madison Square Garden. From Lawrence, Massachusetts, number 30, LJ Figueroa.
Vivan los Gretis que viven en su cuarto. Que vivan los
Entering her 4th season donning St. John's red, this senior has played a key role in the Johnny's success over her St. John's career and has served as an all-around team leader. Starting in all 31 games last season, this guard was one of 5 players to average double figures for the Red Storm, knocking down 10 or more points, a team-high 19 times. The 5'10" guard has been called upon in clutch situations for the Red Storm, and she always delivers. From Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, number 0, Alicia Caby.
Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? When I would ask tomorrow, y'all thought it was winning. Flexing on these, some like Popeye on the spinach. Double M, yeah, that's my T-Rose. Ain't the captain, I'm lieutenant. I'm the type of cat that mean captain, grind like I'm broke. That Lambo, my new, chill ride like my ghost. I'm riding around my city with my hand on my toe. Cause these one need that, and I gotta make it better. Cause my mama need that bill money, my son needs some milk. These try to take my life, they around get killed. Around you, around get so. Cause these feelings, I'm cold women on, around no joke. So, all I know is more. When it come to me, I got young, that's holding, I got gold bees. I done did the DOI, I done did the KODs. Every time I'm in that, I get the throwing 30 G's. Now I'm hanging out that drop head, I'm riding down no collar. They love it, earn back home, that young, be wild, be young, be mobbing. Like Batman with Robbie, Miss Two-Door Maybach.
Our final men's basketball player this evening is looking to put an exclamation point on a truly stellar collegiate career. He scored nearly 1,500 points in 3 years, including 14.6 points per game last season, as the Red Storm won 21 games and made the program's 29th NCAA tournament appearance all time. One of the top scoring threats in the Big East and the nation, he's looking to make the Red Storm's first season under Mike Anderson a memorable one. From Waterbury, Connecticut, wearing number 0, Mustafa Heron.
They said they want some of that Ross. Turn it up, I'ma sit in the car. Turn me up. If you turn up your lights, you gon' see me at night. Oh, you know I'm a star. I know you ain't from where I'm from, cause you know you can't go leave your hook in the car. You can let me walk down on your ass if you stuck in the cell like a motherfucker. Let's go. Let's go. He swear to God they don't want none. Back to back and scat back, do it. She eat up the 2-bottle screwball like ice cream, you know. Smiling at shit on my.
And now, let's meet our 2019-2020 Red Storm coaching staff. For the women's basketball team, the graduate assistants are Maylin Batista and Tamisha Alexander. The director of basketball operations is Matt Bernstein, and the assistant coaches are Rory Kuhn, Shanika Smith, and the associate head coach is Jonah Nicholas. The graduate assistants are Isaias Gebrkedin and Lloyd Wheeler. The coordinator of basketball operations is Ron Brown. The director of basketball operations is Chris Huey. The director of player development is Will Bartlett. The special assistant to the head coach is Paul Pressey. The assistant coaches are Steve DeMayo and Van Macon. And the associate head coach is TJ Cleveland.
We pop out at your party, I'm with the game, and this don't be everybody, so touch the chain. But I'm sorry, but I can't change. We ain't aiming for your body, shots at your brain. We come from poverty, man, we ain't have a thing. There's a lot of animosity, but they don't say my name. Them killers ride with me, don't get paid. Cause they'll do that job for me while I hop on the plane. She don't like her body, left the doctor with a new shape. Blowing up my phone cause she just see me.
Next up is a man who helped establish a winning tradition here at St. John's. Entering his 8th season at the helm of the Red Storm women's basketball program, he has helped the Johnnies to 143 wins over 7 seasons, including a 2016 Big East title. This marked the Red Storm's first conference championship in 28 years. Last season, he helped lift the Johnnies to their most notable win in terms of national rankings in nearly a decade, as the Red Storm upset number 7 Marquette at the one and only Carnesecca Arena. Ladies and gentlemen, in his 8th year as the head coach of the St. John's women's basketball team, Joe Tartamella.
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. Salt and pepper and heavy D up in the limousine. Hanging pictures on my wall. Every Saturday, rapping top to the Magic Molly Mall. I let my tape rock till my tape hot. Smoking you with bamboo, sipping on private stock. Way back when I had the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match. Remember rapping Duke? The hard, you never thought that hip hop would take it this far. Now I'm in the limelight cause I ride tight. Time to get paid for working like the...
I didn't know I was going to do that. How awesome is this? How you guys feeling? Come on. You guys got to get up. Come on, man. Oh, you. Come on, get up. 10 years we've been doing this in this format, in this arena. I say it every year and I'll say it again. I got here at 6 o'clock this morning. By 7:30, you guys were online. You guys were all the way out of campus. And you guys are what makes this night special for these young men and women who put on the jersey to represent all of you. First and foremost, our students, our fans, our alum, and all of you that support us. So we can't thank you enough. I can't thank those who have put this together. It takes a lot of work. And this is one of the most special events that we do every year. And it's their night. They look great. So I thank you from the bottom of our heart, from our women's program and from our men's program. We've got 7 new faces on our roster. And we're trying to cut down the nets this year. We got a team we feel pretty good about. But those 7 players haven't heard this place as loud as it can be. We got Coach Anderson coming out here as well, and I want you guys to give him a welcome, but I want him to hear you be as loud as you possibly can be on the count of 3, and then I'm walking off. But I need your voices. I need you to stand up, and you got to be loud. You guys ready, I hope? 1, 2, 3, let's go! In 17 seasons as a head coach, he's never finished with a losing record. He's been to the postseason 12 times, including 9 NCAA tournaments. He's made 2 Sweet 16s and an Elite 8, guiding programs at UAB, Missouri, and Arkansas to 20-win campaigns 11 times, including a 31-win season at Missouri that fell 1 win shy of the Final Four. In April, he signed on to lead the Red Storm and has laid the foundation for a winning culture here in Queens. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our head coach, Mike Anderson.
What the f*** though? Where the love go? 5, 4, 3, 2, I let 1 go. Get the f*** though. I don't buck, bro. Aiming at your head. Buffalo. You're a roughneck. I'm a cutthroat. You're a tough guy. It's enough jokes. Then the sun died. The night is young though. The diamond still shines. In the rough.
Hello, St. John's! St. John's, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Welcome to everybody, and I want you to know I am big on energy. Where's my lover boy at? Come here. Come here, lover boy. Come here. Come here. Now, I want you guys to know this guy had a bushel of hair yesterday. He look cute now, don't he? Look at him now. No. We ain't calling him. No, we got work to do. Hey, thank you guys for coming out. Now, here's what I want you to know. As I walked around campus today, I saw this campus with a buzz. It was a buzz about basketball, for the men's and the women's. It's a buzz about St. John's. So when I look in here and I see this place sold out, we have 12 games in Conoseca Arena. All right? I want it just like this here. I want it like this here. All right? Everywhere I've been, it's all about the energy. Whether you know it or not, you fans, you students, and all the alumni, you're worth 8 to 10 points for our basketball team. I want this to be the toughest place anybody comes in here to play. And I ain't forgot Madison Square Garden. I want 20,000 there too. And we're gonna do our part. I'm excited about being a Johnny's. I'm excited about the tradition. Obviously, Coach Joe and his women's team, he's been here. He knows what it's all about. And so I want you to know this here about me. I'm used to winning. And you're going to see a team that's going to leave it all on the floor. Each and every night, they're going to represent you guys, and I want you. And this is the personal challenge from this coach. I want you to show up, and when you show up, I want you to show out. Go Johnnies, let's go!
I cannot waste no time, I'm really timeless. I cannot leave my house, there's without diamonds. All of this is on my watch, it's your power. Change faces on the watch, but it's not even found me. I'll probably spend 100,000 on that. Food piece, spend 100,000.
Absolute energetic pleasure here, Sky. Just what's your takeaway from every intro, the coaches speaking, all of the above?
I love the confidence I see in every single player on both sides. They came out with a lot of energy, gave us their best dance moves, threw the t-shirts out to the fans. And one thing I like that Coach Anderson said at the very end, he is used to winning in both programs, looking forward and going to be striving for winning seasons this year.
Still more to come here at Conoseca Arena. Make sure you stick around. But before we take you to break, you can hear from two of the leaders on this team, LJ Figueroa and Mustafa Heron. I'm here with Mustafa Heron of the St. John's Red Storm. Mustafa, your summer between winning bronze with Team USA and also just developing and growing as a player, give me some takeaways about how your summer went and how it felt to really represent your country and wear a medal that day.
First of all, it's a blessing. I want to thank USA Basketball and the Big East, first of all, for inviting me for such a great experience. It was a great group of guys, a humbling experience. We got to play against all pros. I learned a lot that I could take back to, my teammates and just little things, just talking to these guys, guys that have been playing basketball for 15 plus years, making money at that. So it was a great humbling experience.
When you look at growth and just being around that level of competition, what are some of the things that you're able to take away and put forth for St. John's this year?
Just little tricks that the older guys taught, just trying to get position, whether it be rebounding, defense, offense, I think the little things more than the big things, definitely I would take to my teammates.
Already in your collegiate career, you've gone to the dance twice, once with Auburn and then last year with St. John's. To make this season a success, what are some of the things you'll impart on some of your younger teammates to try to get this team prepared?
It's only 64 teams that get picked. 68, first four out, but 64 teams get picked. So it's a blessing to be able to be one of those 64 teams. But you got to grind. You got to work every day. There's no off nights. You can't have off nights. There's no let-ups, throughout the season. So I think that's one thing that I noticed, going to the tournament with two schools.
It is your senior year. It's your swan song. What's the biggest thing you want to take away?
I just want to get better every day and just appreciate that this is it. This is my last, experience in college, and I'm just going to take it day by day, practice by practice, and game by game.
Mustafa, thanks so much.
No problem. Thank you.
I'm here with forward LJ Figueroa of the St. John's Red Storm. LJ, you had an eventful summer as well, playing in the Pan Am Games. What was that experience like for you to represent your country?
It was a great experience to represent my country, my family, all my friends, my people. There's no better feeling than representing your country, especially traveling to different places of the world and just getting to know different regions of the country.
When you look at last season for the Red Storm, made it back to the NCAA tournament. I don't think it's the finish that even you would have wanted, but at least the momentum from last season, how does that transfer into the work you did?
Definitely, it being my first season here at St. John's and making it to the NCAA tournament was definitely a blessing. It's something, I never imagined of accomplishing. So, definitely I have a lot of momentum moving forward. We're expecting great things this year and, just to get better, definitely.
Practice has already started. You're already looking forward to the Big East slate and things of that nature. Yeah. What is going to be your biggest takeaway from making this season a success?
Just playing hard, just being a family, everybody being one. We win together, lose together, just always staying together as a family and just giving it our all out there, We can only control what we can control, and that's playing hard and, giving the fans what they want.
LJ, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you.
Here we go, the first official basketball action here at Carnesec Arena comes your way next. Stick around.
St. John's University is New York, through and through. While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated, our students graduate career-ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
You're not going to want to miss this.
New York, New York. It's easy to see why they call it the Mecca. You can feel the energy. You see the spirit of the sport reflects their own grind, flavor, hustle. It reflects their tenacity and will to win. They will to battle for that extra step, that extra breath. They give their all until they have nothing left. With the greatest city in the world rooting you on, the support has no ending. Because St. John.
St. John's University is New York, through and through. While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated, our students graduate career-ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
You're not going to want to miss this.
New York, New York. It's easy to see why they call it the Mecca. You can feel the energy. You see the spirit of the sport reflects their own grind, flavor, hustle. It reflects their tenacity and will to win. They will to battle for that extra step, that extra breath. They give their all until they have nothing left. With the greatest city in the world
see you play for the first time, just see what you got, a lot of new faces. And again, both men and women's basketball team came here today to show everyone what they've got.
About 3 minutes to go until these two square off for real. Team Red versus Team White. St. John's Red Storm basketball after this, but first, a word about Vincentian education at St. John's University.
What does it mean for you, for me, for all of us, of the deeper meaning behind the work that we'll do in the community today?
Someone who has a college education will have a better life.
There's a lot that happens in those 4 years as they grow and discover what they want to do with their lives.
A Vincentian education builds students academically, socially, spiritually.
It is an experience that makes you a new form of you that you've never seen before.
It becoming my whole life and it becoming such a huge part of who I am.
You're able to grow into a person that I didn't know I could without that service.
It will help to remind us what's important and how we are committed to serving our community.
Having a Vincentian education has changed my entire worldview.
It gives them a solid foundation for a good life.
St. John's University, Niagara University, they're Vincentian schools. They're schools that offer opportunity.
And a higher education gives you all the tools you need to really grow and prepare you for life.
It's based in Catholic teaching and based on the work of St. Vincent de Paul. And it's really a call to action and service.
Service for the Vincentians is not a project. It's a way of life, and we integrate it into who they are.
It's a different type of knowledge than actually knowing the lived experience of people who are poor.
People are human and deserve that connection. That's where the Vincentian charism goes beyond.
It's like you wear certain glasses and you see the world through Vincentian eyes. There's a whole different value system.
Love, respect, service, excellence, and truth.
We want that Vincentian spirit in all of our students.
We know that there's a lot of problems in society today, and many of you will be that sign of hope.
We have a responsibility to take that Vincentian mission and go out and make a difference in the lives of the poor.
All universities do community service, but we do it from the lens of a faith-based community.
And we have a need and a desire to serve people who are marginalized, who are poor.
And that could just be having the students volunteer at different places as part of their class.
Students start to begin challenging their assumptions about how they could serve as a vehicle for positive social change.
It's efficient and effective.
It's very empowering for these students.
The fact that we had to go back and reflect on what we did was something that really resonated with me.
I started to take a step back from just giving out a sandwich and asking myself, why are these people in this situation?
It's developing our students to look more at the economy as a system of humans, a level much deeper than just looking at the statistics.
It's not about just being charitable, it's about a justice.
Charity is a handout, justice is a hand-up.
And by the time they graduate, it's so much a part of their foundation and fabric.
It's amazing to see yourself change in such a short amount of time when you incorporate what you do at service into your everyday life.
They're going to use their life to positively impact the lives of others.
The things that we do for others, that's what sets us apart.
And it opened my eyes to the fact that everyone has something to offer, and you just have to be able to be that person that opens that up in other people.
You're not going to want to miss this.
New York, New York. It's easy to see why they call it the Mecca. You can feel the energy. You see the spirit of the sport reflects their own grind, flavor, hustle. It reflects their tenacity and will to win. Their will to battle for that extra step, that extra breath. They give their Johns, it's all about winning.
Here we go, and here we go. Team White versus Team Red for the 2019-2020 Red Storm tip-off here at Carnesecca Arena. Both teams have been split up, and they're ready to go up and down for 2 running time 8-minute halves. Team Red's gonna roll up a lineup of Rutherford, Roberts, Champaign, Figueroa, and Ellington. For St. John's, it'll be Carraher, Sears, Steer, Heron, and Reed. Now, Sky, in last year's action, it was LJ Figueroa who had a big breakout game that actually led to what ended up being a really great season for him. Is there anyone that you're taking a look at that might have the potential to do that tonight?
I always have fun watching the newcomers, the new faces, just to see exactly what they have and what they got for us.
So pick a number, any number. It was 30 last year. Pick a number. She'll reserve judgment for after action gets started. Carraher immediately with the feed to Sears. Wide open 3, got it.
That's a good look for St. John's men's basketball when they hit the first shot right out the gate.
May not want necessarily to see everyone going high speed, but here comes LJ Figueroa with a 3 of his own. Right back, Heron tries to answer and does with a triple.
Looking like St. John's men's basketball have some range this season.
The alley couldn't be finished by Erlington. Tried to steal, here's Figueroa. Slides in with the lefty jam. Already an early 8-3 lead for Team Red. Dunn drives baseline, kicks inside. Steer misses the bunny but puts it back in. Here's Erlington to the basket. In off the glass. Electing to run is Team White. Couldn't quite get the lob connection to Mustafa Heron. I'm telling you, that shot clock, Scott, may be set at 35, but those guys are trying to shoot within the first 10. Quick steal for Figueroa, 2-on-1 off the backboard, couldn't finish. Carraher, meanwhile, will lob it up to Damian Sears for the easy 2-handed flush.
I must say, I like the fact that both squads are passing the ball around, sharing the ball, and most All-Star games, you don't see that often.
Josh Roberts with the last basket for Team Red, and now they'll get a chance to take the lead. 10-9 the score. Erlington can't connect from distance. Sears will clear for Team White. Pushing ahead. Dunn short corner out to Steer. Steer inside with the 2-handed flush. Once again, a lot of ball movement on both sides. Rutherford connects from downtown.
Rutherford, one of the lefties on the squad this year.
Dunn will try to respond from 3. Can't connect. Roberts with the rebound. The lob from 30. And the jam, nice connection on the lob from Erlington. Carraher, known as a shooter at Houston Baptist, instead will start the swing. Heron, meanwhile, clanks the 3 and 10. Heron with the lob, missed the connection to Damian Steers. But Sky just looking at into some of what we talked about earlier with this team. Last year was the first time St. John's made it to the dance since 2015, but now with the bulk of their scoring no longer on the team, this team's looking for a new identity and thankfully has one in their new head coach. But what are some things that they need to focus on if they want to try to go back to the dance? By the way, what a flush by Figueroa.
It's going to be all about leadership. Who on the squad is going to step up and be that vocal coach on the floor with Shamari Barnes no longer here to lead them on the floor? Others have to step up and be vocal and really pretty much be Coach Anderson on the floor.
And Coach Anderson, in his comments earlier today, remarked how important energy was going to be to this squad. 3:30 left in this first half of action, and Julian Champagne, authoritative finish. Now the pair of subs literally have entered the game as Justin Cole enters for Team White, and Thomas O'Connell, who showed us arguably the best dance moves of the night right out of the gate.
Yes, he was very fun to watch. Definitely danced the longest and the hardest, had the most energy, and I loved all of his different moves. He came to show out today.
Rasheem Dunn with the bucket. On the other side, Nick Rutherford to take it home. Bounce pass intended for Ian Steer. David Carragher couldn't connect. And it seems like these guys are just trying to get the jitters out and try some fun here for the fans. Champagne open from deep, couldn't get it in. Heron coast to coast, the lefty flush.
Talk about his end-to-end speed right there. I think it only took him about 5 dribbles to get at the floor for that flush.
Meanwhile, on the other end, LJ Figueroa owes the cheerleaders under the baseline an apology. Couldn't connect on the attempted lob pass. Dunn elects to dance, but Champagne takes it away on the breakaway.
Champagne was ready for that old school trick. Tried to throw the ball in between his legs on that one.
Heron stops and pops. Can't connect. Rutherford sunned by Steer, who slams it home. Literally took it right out of his hands. It pays to be 6'9" sometimes.
20 points already on both teams in less than 8 minutes.
Josh Roberts with the great flush after the feed from Rutherford. And let's say not the longest benches on either side as we approach a minute in the first half of the scrimmage. Cole to the basket. Nice pass to Steer. Figueroa can't rattle home the three. Team White down 4 early. Not sure if there are bragging rights on the line or anything. Justin Cole, meanwhile, knocks down the triple. And Team White now within 1. Sears clears the rebound. Not that anyone's paying attention to the shot clock, but a 4-second differential. Steer lost it. O'Connell shoveled ahead to Figueroa. Off the backboard, Roberts slams it home. And Team Red out to a 3-point lead. 12 seconds left in the first half. Cole dances. Nice move to the basket. Can't get the finish. 3 seconds left. O'Connell up ahead. The lob laying good from Rutherford. And the nice feed from one junior to the grad student transfer. And the red team has a 5-point lead over Team White. We right back with the second half of action here from Carnesec Arena after this.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the court,
St. John's University is New York, through and through. While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated, our students graduate career-ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
To my brain so quietly. Get what you did to me. Tennis shoes don't even need to buy a new dress. You ain't there, ain't nobody else to impress. It's the way that you know what I'm gonna do. Beat in my heart just when I'm with you. I still don't need to stay. Just have to feel like I do, no one else can. Drop it. Sorry songs, that's a skinny house. Can't move all of this, here to one of those. I'm a let's go, let's go. Oh yes, honey. Due to the fact that her thighs spread just like oh yes, honey.
St. John's University Dance Team. And make sure that you are sticking around, because after everything is done on the court,
St. John's University is New York, through and through. While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated, our students graduate career-ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
You're not going to want to miss this.
New York, New York. It's easy to see why they call it the Mecca. You can feel the energy. You see the spirit of the sport reflects their own grind, flavor, hustle. It reflects their tenacity and will to win. They will to battle for that extra step, that extra breath. They give their all until they have nothing left. With the greatest city in the world rooting you on, the support has no ending, because St. John's is all about winning.
St. John's University is New York, through and through. While our roots may be here in the city, our Catholic and Vincentian influence is felt around the globe. Diverse, determined, and dedicated. Our students graduate career ready and primed to take on the challenges of tomorrow. We are New York's team. We are St. John's.
For Josh Roberts, 7:45 left. And that was a travel and a half, but it is an open game, so we'll let it slide for now. But like I said, I almost feel like Coach Anderson's taking notes. I mean, if you were at the open practice for the season ticket holders who couldn't make it here tonight, Coach Anderson did not play any games. He ran it like a real practice. Sky, they had film before they hit the floor, and they ran every single drill as often as possible. And that's a hard-nosed mentality that Coach Anderson will bring to this team.
Yeah, and you can see right here on the bottom of our screen, Coach Anderson walking up and down as if this is a real game. He's not playing around with these men, and he wants to win this season. He wants a winning season, and he knows it takes hard work to do so.
Looks like they're playing a tad bit more serious this second half. Figueroa, hands off. Nope, will keep it himself and flush it home. Dunn to the basket, will get it in off the glass. So it may be a very open game, but both teams going back and forth. Just a two-possession game. And Arlington loses it on the baseline. Yet Team Red will still keep possession. But Sky, looking ahead, even though they're not scrimmaging tonight, the women's team is set to take a big leap forward. We mentioned it at the top of the broadcast. Despite losing a 1,000-point scorer senior and a traveled grad student, St. John's was picked to finish second in the conference.
That's right. Wallaire and Grelove no longer on the squad. But England, they have KB, they have Kwadasha Hockey on this squad, and they have newcomers like Alston to pick up the speed for the team, and not to mention a McDonald All-American, 6'4" on the squad. They have a nice roster this season. Fans will have to come out and watch the women's basketball team play this year because it is going to be a lot of fun. I can tell already. And
the interesting thing about this whole class is that, yes, you have the freshmen that came in between Unique Drake and the Nolan twins, but even someone like Alyssa Alston with SEC experience, and that's going to bring a lot of steady to a backcourt that's still very solid in England and KB, but now having Alston as part of the mix could really make an already guard dynamic backcourt even better.
Yeah, I spoke with Coach Nicholas before the tip-off began, and he said it's going to be a fast-paced game. They have great guards. He's excited about their guard play, and it's really going to allow them to play the type of St. John's basketball they like to play, and keep it going up and down the floor fast-paced.
And for recent fans who hadn't seen some of the glory years of St. John's basketball, whether it was with Shanika Smith, the aforementioned Sky Lindsay, who's sitting right next to me, and even Aaliyah Hanford, who went on to be the all-time leading scorer in program history, to have a throwback to those days would be something really special here at Carnesecca.
Yeah, and just finished giving a nice shout-out to the alumni that came out to support the newcomers and the new guys, and just a great history overall for the basketball program here at St. John's.
Roberts all alone will slam it home, and Team Red up to a 5-point lead, just under 4 minutes left. And like I said, this is starting to be a real game. The referees are starting to make all the travel calls and all of those things. And now check this out. Dunn is going to pick up all 94 feet, and St. John's bringing a little bit full court pressure.
Kind of like what we see in the NBA All-Star game. While they play around a little bit in the first half, but second half, they still want to leave with the win. It's bragging rights going into the locker room.
Aaron with the bounce pass inside. Sears slams it home. Back to a one-possession game. Things are getting a little testy here with 3 minutes left in the scrimmage. Arlington drives downhill. The righty layup is good. Carraher will pull from deep. Off the back rim, offensive board and put back from Mustafa Herring. And Team White still trailing by 3. Arlington gets poked from the behind. Dunn, fast break, slams it home. 1 point game with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go. And Coach Anderson is no longer pacing, but you can bet he's watching to see how competitive his guys are going to be. Tough shot from the corner for Figueroa. Herron will lead the break for the lead. Reverse lay and good from Damian Sears. Roberts coming right back with a two-handed layup of his own. Scrum for the loose ball. Dunn wins the battle. Finds Herron in the corner. Short on the 3 attempt. Carraher saves the rebound. And now for 3. Short off the front end. With numbers 3-on-1. Underhand lob. And inside, Arlington with the lay-in. 3-point game for Team Red. Herron for the tie. Off the back rim. And one sub will come in, that's Ian Steer. 1 minute left, the clock is already running. Team Red, they may elect to ice it or they may elect to go. O'Connell around the Figueroa screen. Lob attempt for Roberts, saves it. Arlington, two-handed flush. And now Figueroa with the steal deep in the backcourt. 2-on-2, Figueroa. Tried to go reverse. Arlington this time off the backboard. Well, it looks like Team Red with 16 seconds left is going to walk out of here with the win. As Herron will hit from the baseline. Well, that should just about do it. So Team Red will take their bragging rights into the locker room as Team Red pulls out the victory. And all jokes aside, Sky, we've definitely seen a lot of action from a team that may not have much height, but has enough speed and toughness possibly to compete in the Big East this season.
And you saw it, they came out individually. They have a lot of confidence as well, and sometimes that's all you need is confidence to win basketball games. And this squad, you can see they worked hard out there. They are sweating, and they are drenched down, and they were not playing any games in that second half. And both teams really showing off their talent and their skills individually.
Just so that we can take you inside the arena for a bit, we'll put it in the hands of tonight's in-arena host, Chuck Lott, to take you through the in-arena games this evening.
Whichever team finishes first, the student from that team is going home with tickets to see Terminator Dark Fate in theaters November the 1st. We're going to go again and get set up. On Team 1, we've got Mustafa Herron, Julian Champagny. From the men's team, from our ladies team, Emma Nolan and Cece Holmberg. And then we've got Ryan on Team 1. On Team 2, we've got LJ Figueroa, David Carraher, Kimdasha Hoppy, Alicia Gaby, and Nick on Team 2. I can make a brick bounce off, bank it, all right, it looks like we are set. Fans, make some noise. We're gonna go ahead and see how fast, who's got the best shots. My teams are ready, we're going. In 3, 2, 1, go. All right, remember, the rules are simple. Each team has to make 5 shots before they can move on. And the first team to make all 5 shots at all 5 stations on the court will win the shootout contest. Team 2 has already moved on. Team 1 is almost there. Oh! There it is. Team 1 off to station number 2. All right, Team 1 is coming. We're tied at 1 for the second station. Team 2 is catching up though. There it is, Team 1's coming. Now they're starting to feel a little warm. We're tied up at 3 apiece. 4 apiece. Now we've got a shootout contest. Oh, Team 2. Team 2 has moved on to station 3. Team 2 is feeling good right now. There it is, Team 1 is up to station 3. But Nick might be going home. Nick might be going home with those tickets. Uh-oh. Communication is key. There it is. There it is. Somebody's feeling it. All right, Team 2. They're not, oh! Team 1 is moving up. Uh-oh, we got one more shot. Team 2, station 4. Team 2 is at station 4. Team 1's got to finish up that last shot though. Team 2 is at the last station. Oh! That's it. All right, we got one more. There it is. Team 2 has just won the shootout contest. Nick, come on over here, man. Nick. Now you had quite the team here, lights out team, but I know you guys talked about some strategy. Tell me, what was the plan going into the contest and how you won?
I mean, everyone here told me to get buckets, and that's what we did. We were out here, shooting. LJ told me cash out. That's all we do.
Cash out buckets. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick is going home with tickets to see Terminator Dog Fear in theaters on November the 1st. Congratulations to Team 2. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, speakers are coming out to the floor. That means we're not too far away from taking the floor. Who's ready for this concert? Are you ready? You sure? Are you ready? What about this side of the floor? Are you ready? We're gonna let DJ APM take this away. APM, you got 10 minutes. Show me what you got.
You can get snatched up, very, very fast. Every girl you need to back up. It's somebody you need, I can't on my side. To my page trying to track us. Brand new chain, city gloss, all platinum. I keep a baby block, I ain't fighting with no random. We get this serious, I love to take a I cannot delirious. This is bad, she rubber like it's supposed to be. You can see my feelings in the style, now you have to kill me. Think about me, Gucci and fire for it. Walking top for it. I bet your little sister wanna look like me.
Well, Sky, we've been treated to quite an event tonight. We're going to sign up for the broadcast, but are there any notes you want to leave with the fan base as we sign off?
Both programs really came and showed out today. I'm so proud of both men's and women's basketball, and I am excited for this season. St. John's basketball, exciting basketball.
Indeed, indeed. Special thanks to our producer and director, KJ Hammond, and our entire fantastic SJU TV crew. For my partner, Sky Lindsay, I'm Unqua Sonye. And just remember, you can catch everything Red Storm Sports related on RedStormSports.com. Good night from Carnesec Arena, and have a great 2019-2020 season.